Hello there, Mr. 411.
What up,
It is
Zach?
great. It's great talking to you again. I've already had a good little bit of you today.
I tell you, man, it's 4-1 everywhere right now, it seems like. But man, I know you got a plane to catch today, man. So, I'm glad you was able to call the airline company and tell them to delay the flight because you have a live show to do.
Well, thank you.
So that's very big of you, man. Company man.
It is. I was gonna be at another engagement, but I was reminded someone sent me a quadrant about things. I said, I guess I need to reevaluate my what's important and what's not important.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, Sports Brothers. So you ready to do this, Zach?
I am.
All right, let's get it.
All right. I'm in a good mood today. Appreciate that, Mr.
See,
411.
I see, Zach. Well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. He's Zach. I am Mr. 411. We are the Sports Brothers, and we're going to talk sports.
Yes, we are.
Sportz. Yes, but before we do that, please do the following for the Sports Brothers.
Yes, please do. That's Mr. 411's favorite part of the show. He loves seeing the numbers go up.
That's right. The more the merrier. We definitely appreciate it. You can follow. We got a lot of shows going on. So in the works, we got a lot of things in the works, a lot of shows in the works. And we had the first episode for those who tuned in at 6 today. But you also can watch the re-air on YouTube. Just check it out anytime you want to. But the fantasy football show, the season has just began for that show. And you just checked out the calculator and Lacey. And you also see Lacey Dawson on the Sports Brothers as well. So she's definitely
Hello,
working
Lacey.
hard. Yeah, Miss Lacey, I know she's watching
What is that?
because
She
she's
worked hard for the money.
yeah,
Oh,
she definitely does that. It's not much that she
I,
getting here though.
yes, Mr. 411 gets all of the money. He's easy and I'm Ice Cube.
here's what they, here's what they think about you. All right. Yeah. All right. So we're gonna talk Kevin Durant today. We're gonna talk Adam Silver. Uh, we're gonna talk DeShaun Watson, and we're gonna talk the NFC. That's the National Football Conference of the NFL. The NFC North, the Northern Division. So we'll give a preview on that uh, since we're in the football mood here. But before we do all of that, Zach, let's get into the news and notes from the sports world.
Sounds good. What you got for me? Or for the
Well,
peoples?
yeah, for our peeps, right? Let's go ahead and talk a little NBA real quick. You're familiar with this gentleman right here.
I am. I'm starting to feel bad. I feel like I'm picking on him. So I'm gonna start trying to be nice and positive about Kyrie.
Well, there was a lot of talk about Kyrie Irving joining my Los Angeles Lakers in Laker Nation, but from a lot of conversations that the insiders are hearing now, it looks like the odds is that Kyrie will be ending up back in Brooklyn, and that could be a good thing for Kyrie. And it could be a good thing for the Nets, and a good thing for the Lakers. And so, with all the talk of Kyrie to LA, it may not happen, according to some of the insiders. All right. Speaking of the Lakers, man, the Lakers are staying in the NBA news right now. There's a lot of talk about Russell Westbrook, and it looks like Russell Westbrook is parting ways from his hometown Lakers. You kind of see this coming, and he took a lot of blame this year, even though he averaged 18.7 rebounds, 7 assists. But as a lot of people stated before, that before he even joined the team, that this was not a good fit. It wasn't set up for him to really explode as the Russell Westbrook that we know. Um, but still, it looks like they're about to part ways. I don't know if you saw some of the summer leagues act, but
I did,
Russell
of
Westbrook,
course.
he was on the bench, and he was coaching and everything, and LeBron was sitting courtside. And if you notice, you saw Pelinka, you saw Darvin Ham, and LeBron. They all were hanging out together, but Westbrook was not a part of that meet and greet, if you will, even outside of being on the sideline as a coach. So it's just a lot of riff going on. There's a lot of things talking about it, and I can understand from Westbrook's perspective as well, wanting to part ways. But yeah,
Can you?
Yeah,
Because I cannot. Because tell me this: does he get $47 million from the Lakers or somebody this year?
He will. Yeah.
Then he good. Look. If they don't want to sit by me and they paid me $47 million, okay, long as the check clears. So good for you, Russell Westbrook. He ain't got nothing to be mad about.
Right.
He
and
good.
It doesn't necessarily mean he has to be mad or anything. I'm just saying, like, from his perspective.
Well, I'm saying in the real.
I would be like,
hey, dabbing him up.
Let's go.
Yes, he should be dabbing. Look, he should be happy. If they want to be unhappy because they paying him $47 million, okay. But him and his wife, look, they should be what's the dances they used to do back in the day, the money dance and everything when it's covered in.
Yeah.
They should be like George and Wheezy, moving on up.
Well, yeah, I'm sure. I'm certain of that. I think he's been doing that for a long time now.
now I'm sure that's not good for you Laker fans. Y'all don't want that. But for him, he get to play for the Lakers as of right now, and his bank account is fat.
Hey, look, I've already said from day one before it even happened that the fit, it just didn't look right for me. But that didn't mean I didn't like Westbrook. And actually, Westbrook played in 78 games this year. All the talk about players not playing and showing up and load management and stuff. Out of all the players on the Lakers, Russell Westbrook showed up to work, and he showed up for 82 regular season games. I mean, 78 out of 82. So he only missed 4 games. So, with that said, the man is earning his paycheck, and he just has to, and he played the best he could, and he gave energy every night.
But I guess not to go too much in this, it's unfortunate that Westbrook is taking this because I think we'll go, at least the people associated this show, we kind of understood what it is that Westbrook brings to the table, that he's an individual that plays with the ball in his hand, plays hard, and he kind of goes about it a certain way. How the Lakers and quote unquote LeBron and his group didn't understand that is crazy to me. And this whole LeBron thing, outside of I guess the LeBron part of it, how the Lakers have tried to fit pieces around LeBron and things they tried to do with LeBron has just been really weird. Because Magic, which was smart, I think, tried to take the ball out of LeBron's hands, but they didn't put shooters around him. And then even this, now you bring in Westbrook, that's not a shooter. LeBron can't play without you. You said this for years. LeBron can only play a certain way. Why would you put people around him that don't fit the way that he plays?
Right.
And all of this, I just say all that to say that Westbrook shouldn't be taking the brunt of this. If you want to give Westbrook some of the blame that's coming from Lakerland, that's cool. But he ain't been able to shoot the three at a high clip since he's been in the damn NBA. Exactly. he was gonna become Reggie Miller overnight, huh? Like, you're with LeBron now. You gonna hit them threes now.
Yeah,
it is what it is.
It's like going to the zoo, and you're going to look at a zebra. You want to go see the zebras, but you want to see spots on the zebra. Like, you're gonna see stripes.
Like, oh my God.
Yeah, the zebra's not going to change.
Yeah, why does the zebra not look like a cheetah or a leopard? Yeah. What's going on here?
Yep.
So I hope something happens. Westbrook's a great player. So it would be nice if there's a good resolution to it. I think the Lakers should kind of eat it for this season, but I'm not a Laker fan. So as you've stated many times, Lakers are about championships. So they probably can't waste the season. But this has become maybe embarrassing for all parties now, I think.
Yeah, it is. It really is. And we'll see where it all goes. Something going on in the NFL right now, Zach. My goodness. Great situation here for the running back of Tampa Bay, Leonard. How you say his last name? Fournette?
Fournette.
Fournette. That's right. Okay, he's from the
Out
Louisiana
of,
area.
yep.
So Zach, you must have been the one that paid attention in French class, for pronouncing his name correctly.
Watch a lot of SEC football games.
Well, that too, but all those spades games we played in the back of the classroom in French class. But Leonard Fournette, he showed up way overweight, and he usually plays around 228, but now they're saying he's up near the 260. He's up near the Zion Williamson range, but we Tampa Bay is not happy with that right now, Zach, and the season is upon us.
Football is a little different than basketball, but see, this is kind of one of those clear things. Like, you didn't have to worry about Westbrook showing up in shape or whatever. Like, Westbrook showed up to play ready to go. You may not like how he played, but he showed up ready to play. This by Leonard Fournette, and I'm just being real, straight up unprofessionalism. Unless he has some type of medical condition going on that would be why he gained all this weight. That's ridiculous. Like, if you said his playing weight is what, 228?
Yeah, around 228. Yeah.
And you're probably at least 32 pounds more than that. You could be they didn't say 260, they said 260 plus.
Yeah.
He's not somebody I would count on. Like, he's a guy on the team. I wouldn't count on him. Like, no. Man. That's ridiculous.
Man, I'm telling you, man. And there's an opportunity there. I mean, Tampa Bay, you have a shot at the Super Bowl. And why wouldn't you want to do that? I mean, Fournette's come a long way. Think about some of the situations he was in prior, like Jacksonville, for example. And now you're in Tampa. I mean, don't blow it. Well,
and he's a running back, not an offensive lineman.
Yeah, you need it. Yeah, that's tough, Zach. I know there's steaming on that one, man. But
ridiculous.
Yep, man. Somebody who's not ridiculous, but he's no longer my favorite quarterback, right? Because he left for the Broncos. But Russell Wilson, he's making a prediction, and we're going to try to get a picture of his cleats on here for you. He's made a prediction. You want to take a guess of what his prediction is, Zach?
Well, I was in the production meeting, so I already know. But yes.
All right. He's claiming, like, for example, he's saying here, right? The Broncos have won 3 Super Bowls. All right. We know that. Okay. But he's saying a 4th is coming soon. So I'm taking this cleat right here, and I'm saying I'm taking this as that Russell Wilson is letting us know that the Broncos are going to win number 4. He said soon, so there's his out, right? If it's not this season, because he said soon. It doesn't say how soon, but a lot of people are going to take that and say, "Hey, you're talking about winning it all this year," which he should. But it's interesting that Russ is feeling that way. Tough division, Zach, and we're going to preview the AFC West at some point. But man, what about that prediction, Zach?
I think I don't want to say he's at a crossroads, because I believe he's probably a Hall of Famer. I thought he did some good things in Seattle, and he definitely, after he got past a certain point in there with the Legion of Boom or whatever, he helped. He wasn't being carried by the team. He was at least in the front seat, if not the driver, the co-pilot. This will be interesting, because he blew the Super Bowl against the Patriots. Like, we can throw the Legion of Boom. They had their faults in the 4th quarter, but his interception on the goal line, like if that's an incomplete, you get to run another play, maybe 2 more plays. I guess if you need it, 3 more plays. And instead, 2 more plays. And instead, he ended the game on a dramatic interception. If he comes here and wins a Super Bowl, it'll kind of go to, okay, the Legion of Boom didn't carry him. But if he's just, if he doesn't, I think if he doesn't at least get the Broncos to a Super Bowl, then you kind of go back and revisit, okay, maybe we made a little too much of Russell Wilson in Seattle. And as I said, you're the Seahawks fan. Outside looking in, he definitely helped them.
Yeah.
But maybe he's gotten a little too much credit and not enough blame, since the Super Bowls.
Yeah. I mean, just think about it. I mean, since the defense has eroded, and as it eroded, Seattle's been further and further and further and further and further away from reaching the Super Bowl. It's to the point where there was a crossroad that had to be met. So you're going to move forward with Russ, or are you going to move forward without and kind of build up again? But we'll see.
And I guess we'll do this on thing, but I thought Seattle's weapons. I always get the other guy wrong, but Metcalf and
Lockett.
Lockett. I thought they were two pretty damn good receivers. I don't see dudes that look like those two dudes in Denver, unless they ain't got the whole roster out there yet.
Yeah, Russell knows something that we don't, and
yes,
good luck to him. But opening day, it's Denver and Seattle, so it's going to be. I'll definitely be tuned in for that one.
Go Hawks!
Absolutely. All right, we are now on Blackjack TV, Zach.
Yes, we are.
All right, we are on Blackjack TV. We thank Blackjack TV, the Jack, and want you to go to blackjacktv.net. You click on the TV screen. You'll see the programming on there. Scroll down slightly, and then you'll go to the TV guide there, and you will find our shows on there. You'll find the Sportz Brothas. You'll find 4-1 Sports World Fantasy Show, Crossing the Lines, Laker Locker Room. There's so many shows, and there's more coming too. You're gonna see Zach in on his new show soon. So get ready, ladies and gentlemen. Get ready. All right. We know it's the summertime. Lawns need to be taken care of. Your yard, you want to look good for the cookout, and all those type of things. And check out Darren Ford if you're in the Middle Georgia area. He is a veteran like Zach. And he's definitely out there taking care of people's lawns, veteran quality lawn. So check out Darren Ford, 478-318-3841. You need to get your car worked on. You need some things done to the vehicle, to the whip. James Spicer, he's the owner of Precision Tune Auto Care. He has his own location there in Warner Robins, 1210 Watson Boulevard, Warner Robins, Georgia, 310-93. Check him out, 478-923-6510. He is ASE certified and can do a lot for your vehicle. Again, life of the party. Margarita Man. Check out Brandy and Curtis Lane, 478-273-0787. So once you get your vehicle fixed, you can head over to a party. And when you get there, if Margarita Man is set up at that party, you're going to have a great time. But keep that vehicle parked and catch the Uber to the house. So Margarita Man, check them out. Zach, you already know the Panty Platter Boutique. Go to IG and it's @_Panty Platter, www.thepantyplatter.com with the /. Check out the Panty Platter Boutique for all your intimate occasions. Go ahead and hook up your lady with Panty Platter, guys. And ladies, hook up your guys. Order some Panty Platter.
Unofficially, I've been told that out of all of the sponsorships we have, it seems like that one has become our most popular.
For some strange reason, right?
Yes. They are doing a great job advertising, I guess, obviously. So good job to you there, Mr. 411.
All right. And maybe with your Panty Platter on, check out Heavenly Spa Mobile. 2484 Ingleside Avenue, Building A, Suite 101-A, Macon, Georgia 31204. Latanya can be reached at 478-747-9231. 478-747-9231. Heavenly Spa Mobile, where relaxation is the key. All right, Zach, it is time. Let's go to
All
our
right.
next segment here. All right, the NBA is our next area of focus right now. Adam Silver, he has a lot of things to say about the players requesting trades, and as you can see here, we don't like to see players request trades. We intend to discuss with our player association and see if there are remedies for this. We do not want to see it playing out the way it is. Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, that's his comments on Kevin Durant requesting trades. Zach, what's your thoughts?
First, Adam Silver looks really, really old right there in that picture. It didn't seem like he looked that old when he took the job, but is this like the presidency or something that is just wearing on him?
Right.
And I guess that statement that was said by Commissioner Silver, that was not Commissioner Silver. Like, he was up there and his lips were moving and all that stuff. He wasn't talking. That was the owners talking. That, you know how you got a puppet or you want to go ventriloquism or something? That was the puppet. I mean, I'm sorry, the owners going through him with that statement.
Look at him.
Yeah. Commissioner Silver, I think, has probably been maybe a little too lenient with the players, and you've had some issues with some of the things that have come up during his tenure. He is the opposite of Commissioner Goodell. Commissioner Goodell is he lays the hammer down. Silver is more like the fun uncle. So that they may need to, on the next commissioner, which hopefully it will be an individual of color. Outside of that, maybe get somebody that will be a little sterner with the players. And then next from that, I'd kind of go with it seems to a degree, and you and I have been watching the NBA for a long time. We've been watching long enough to remember when the finals were on like tape delay. So I don't know if that's telling our age or not, but we've seen the maturation of the league, and we've seen when guys didn't make $1 million annually, and now they make, 40, 50 plus $1 million annually. And I'm going to use the term that my mother used to use a whole bunch on me, right in a privilege. And her thing was, there are not necessarily a lot of rights in this life, but we have a whole lot of privileges. And it is a privilege to be in the NBA. And it's a privilege to be able to make the money that you make in the NBA and have all those benefits that come with it, even being a star player. If you didn't have an NBA, you'd be like the WNBA players, how, everybody's on the Brittany Griner thing. But part of the reason she has to go overseas and play in Russia is because the WNBA doesn't make the type of money that the NBA makes. So the players may need to, and this might be more at the top than it is across the league, because not everybody makes the type of money that Kevin Durant makes, and not everybody has the ability to swing their hammer and say what's going to happen like Durant, and it will happen. But they need to maybe start looking again at, we are privileged to be in the league that we are in, and we maybe need to be better business partners so we don't lose some of these privileges, because it's not our right to be here. And I'll let it sit there for a second and let you jump in.
Well, I think this, and again, you mentioned Roger Goodell, right? That's the NFL's commissioner, National Football League.
Sorry about that. Yes.
If you never heard that, well, some people may not have heard that league.
You are correct.
But great point. And I will say that I believe Adam Silver is jumping into this, Zach, because there's probably some rumblings in the background with the owners, but about the players, really trying to take over now. Like, there was already a big thing about the the era of a lot of player movement, right? Around the 2010, 2011 time up to now. And now it seems like what Durant is doing now is going to take this to a whole nother level. and see if Durant does this, then what about all these superstars that are budding like a Trey Young, a Doncic, Booker, guys like that are the next in line. If Durant does this, and now maybe the next group is going to start doing that and take it to another level. So I think what they're trying to do now is kind of pump the brakes on it. And what Silver is doing is basically regurgitating what the owners are saying to him, because basically he works for them if you kind of look at it that way. And so I think that's what's really happening here. Um, and we'll find out when the players, union and all these and everybody get together and have these conversations, especially with the collective bargaining agreement coming up. So we'll see what happens there. Any comments on Durant before we go to one more layer of Durant?
Well, I was going to hit on a couple more things, and that's the bad part about talking to you, because we kind of have like minds, so you go across things that I have, but that's all right. Being the sports messiah that I am, I try to tell the truth and tell nothing but the truth. And in doing that, the owners are being babies. Like this is it. It is like many of us men that we get with the pretty girl, and then we got to do all the stuff to keep the pretty girl. Now, the owners get these players. They love these players up. They make these players feel like they the greatest thing since sliced bread. And then when the players start acting like what you treat them like, you want to get upset about it. If the owners don't like what's going on, they need to take away the guaranteed money or take away some of the guaranteed money. Now, will you be able to do that? I'm not sure the players will go for that, but you figure out a way to take away some of that guaranteed money. All these things you don't like, work on it. But teams trade players, and when teams trade players, I don't hear teams out here whining about honoring the contract. So it is as Commissioner Silver said, it should be a two-way street. Like, yeah, you gonna get players like a Durant, which is probably, what do you got? You're gonna have maybe
a handful.
What is it? It can't be more than what do we got? What is it? 15 players a team, so about 450 players in the NBA. It can't be more than 20 guys in the NBA that can do what Durant's doing. So while you may not like it as an owner, that's it. It's 20 or less that Mike can do it. You were talking about the collective bargaining agreement, and yes, the owners will probably opt out come this December or whatever, so they can get a more favorable deal. And because you don't have as many players in the league like a Durant or LeBron or a Kyrie that can make these type demands, they'll probably be able to get some things overall, because the union, these guys, they ain't gonna want to miss paychecks. So maybe you can get some of these things in there. But you tell me, Mr. 411, outside of maybe taking away some of the guaranteed money, what do you do to keep a guy like Zion Williams just signed his contract in New Orleans? What's to stop Zion Williamson in 2 years from asking for a trade from New Orleans? But what do they do? So how do you fix this issue?
Mm-hmm. Who knows? And I think the way to fix it is the way that they're trying to go with it. And I'm not going to say fix it, but that's from the standpoint of Adam Silver. I think that's what he's doing. He's kind of doing a Nick Saban. How Nick Saban had his comments that he made about a month or so ago. And I think that's what he's doing now, is he's just trying to lay the groundwork for that conversation to be had, so that they can come up with a mutual agreement here to kind of slow this process down. Because as you mentioned, Zion, that's another player. That's one I didn't mention. But, he's a type of player.
Yes.
When you combine youth, talent, potential, stardom, like star power, he's a player that can move a needle. And if he rants, says he wants to get out of New Orleans and he's trying to get to New York City and play for the Knicks, that he can do that. He can stomp the ground and say, "Hey, I want to get out of here." And so I think that's what they're trying to avoid from happening.
And as I said, but how they gonna do it? Like,
well, that's what has to be done in the collectively. And I think that's the angle that he's trying to go, is with the bargaining, getting the players union to come up with a way to meet them halfway on it. That way it's
Mm-hmm.
bargained and it's on paper. I mean, that's what they're trying to do.
And I'm saying, I'm sure star players gonna love trying to make any kind of thing that will tie them to a team when they don't want to be there no more.
Well, yeah, that's never going to change. That part of it won't. And we'll see how they figure this out. Once again, the NBA is in the news. All
Yes,
right.
it is.
So, but Kevin Durant, we kind of gave you a tease. We put it up here a minute ago. But Kevin Durant there's also a rumor now that the Wizards might make a move for Durant, and that will put him in his home team. For me, Zach, if he plays for the Wizards and they somehow can keep Bradley Beal in the mix, he will have another player to go along with him. That's definitely as good as Kyrie Irving. We can say that at the least, right? Bradley Beal is
Correct.
right in that neighborhood, so there could be a 1-2 punch right there. He'll be playing in his hometown. It also satisfies the part about Durant going somewhere and leading an organization. And I think the last time that the Washington franchise won a championship, you have to go back to the late '70s, and have the Washington franchise really been in the mix? Every now and then they popped up. They popped up in the '90s, mid to late '90s for a brief moment. Gilbert Arenas era was,
Yep.
first round type team. So maybe Durant can do that for his home, and we can see how that goes. Because I heard he's a Washington. Back then, it was the team that starts with the letter R, but they are now the Commanders. But he's a huge fan of the Washington football team, and man, so if he can land there, I mean, what do you think about that, Zach?
I'm gonna keep revisiting what I've been doing. It would be great for the Wizards, but why would the Nets do this? They have him for 4 more years, and once the Rudy Gobert got traded to Minnesota, and Minnesota gave everything they gave to get him, the pressure was put on the Nets to make sure they get a good haul for Kevin Durant. I'm not sure what the Wizards can send back that I want if I'm the Nets, because I ain't worried about salary cap relief because I ain't gonna get it. I ain't gonna sign a great free agent anyway. So what does it matter if I can have $200 million in cap space? So like, uh, it, I think as we get closer, you brought up the Kyrie thing, and I thought that was a good point. We're probably going to start the season with Kevin Durant it kept that group together in Washington. I'm sorry, in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
And as we get closer to the trade deadline, kind of like with Ben Simmons last year, then decisions will be made as far as what needs to happen.
Yeah, we'll see. And the best trade scenario that you did ask is that possibly have to do something with Porzingis. You have to do something with maybe a player the level of a Kuzma, throw in another name, and throw in some picks. You have to go that route. I mean, that's probably the best route you can go. I don't
But
really see how it can happen, but this is something that is out there. The word on the street is that the Wizards are trying to make a move, but who wouldn't try to make a move or even
well,
put their name
absolutely.
in the hat?
But but look what you have there. So I see what 1, 2, 3 first-round picks. Utah got 5 for Rudy Gobert. That's
Yeah.
why I said that's what the problem. Like, I think the mega deal that you were doing for Donovan Mitchell eh, for to the Knicks, I'd rather send him to the Knicks for
Yeah.
that. If that's what we're going with, because you have to get. I mean, you definitely have to say that you got less than what Utah got for Rudy Gobert. I mean, Kevin Durant should be embarrassed by that itself. Like, he should think that you would want to trade your whole team for him.
Yeah, man. It's interesting. And the Kevin Durant saga will continue. We'll see where he lands. We have a 2-part episode that you can check out on YouTube, where we broke down all the scenarios that we could come up with Kevin Durant. It was a lot of scenarios, Zach. It was a ton of them. Yeah, so definitely we'll see how that ends up. We're about to go to commercial break, Zach. Everyone, hang in there for us. We got a sponsor that we need to throw in, and definitely be ready because on the other side we're going to talk some NFL.
All righty. All right, we got to book a Sports Brothers event for that.
Oh man, GG event NYC. Man, I'm telling you, man. You know they came down to Atlanta, man, and did it up for our family reunion, and so I know what they can do firsthand. I mean, Miss Gigi came in there with maybe 1 or 2 bags. They say, I know, man, this stuff set up everywhere. The whole party was filled with stuff, man. Tables, balloons. I mean, it was set up like with the arch and everything, so you could take pictures. I mean, it was just laid out. So they do great work. So definitely check them out. And something we got to check out, Zach, is the NFL. And our guy, he's back in the news. DeShaun Watson, he's back in the news. There's talk about him possibly suing the NFL. Zach, you are a football guy. What do you think about this stage of DeShaun Watson saga?
Like, here's the thing, I think you're kind of getting a Kaepernick thing now, where there's like a divide in the sense of if you go with Kaepernick, or if you say Kaepernick has some points, then you're against, the nation. If you go on the other side, you say, hey, why are you not being a patriot, or, why are we doing this during the flag ceremony? Then you're against Kaepernick, instead of it being that, look, the situation is just kind of the situation. First and foremost, and I'm going to say this every time, I believe he went through 2 grand juries in Texas, and neither grand jury saw that there was enough evidence or enough whatever there is to convict him. Or I'm sorry, not to convict him, but to bring it to trial, to bring charges, to bring it to trial. Mm-hmm. To me, that says a lot. Anybody that wants to tell me, he did this and he did that, that's cool. What do you know that the grand jury didn't know as far as the evidence being presented? Because I have to believe that if they could have brought, I'm not going to say if they could have, if they'd have saw enough or saw something that looked like we need to bring charges against this, they would have done it. So we're going to take that out. There's no criminal part. These are civil cases. Like, I literally, if I want to, I could take you to civil court for something or whatever. Now, will you get convicted of it or whatever? Who knows? But I'm allowed to take you there, and the threshold is lower. So I'm just trying to look at the sense of that we're supposed to go with an individual in this country is innocent until proven guilty. And I'm not sure DeShaun Watson is getting that, because this is being played out in the court of public opinion. From the NFL standpoint, they are going off of the court of public opinion. Now, they may have more information as far as what they're investigating. And if they want to, as I hear that, they want to send him away for an entire season. And he probably expected this because his contract was set up. I think he's only making $1 million, or he's making a low amount this season out of that $230 million that he has guaranteed. So his team may have been preparing for this. So I guess financially he won't take that big of a hit, but his reputation is going to take a hit. And if he doesn't want that on his reputation, I believe he's settled with, is it 20 of 24 or something of that nature? I forget, but I believe.
Yeah, it was 20 of 24.
Okay. There's 4 individuals left that don't want to settle. And I'm fine with that. Like, if they don't want to settle, if they feel like something happened and they want him to pay and they want this to come out in court or whatever, by all means, they should do it. It's their right. As you told me earlier, we were talking about a subject. Hey, I have the right to feel how I feel about something, and you have the right to feel the way you feel about something. And these individuals are going to go to court, and the judge and or jury will decide whose feelings are more right.
Right.
So ultimately, this is going to come down to Judge Sue L. Robinson, and I'll be interested to see what she's going to do, because I kind of expect her. I know this is going to sound crazy, but I want to believe that the system is not rigged, that when you go into court, any of us, that you're going in and they just look at kind of what the facts are, and we're going to give you a decision based on that. Not that if I say nothing happened, all these women are going to hate me and I need to give him 2 years or something of that nature. But I guess if you're going with the skeptic in me, I think it's rigged. He's going to get, I think, a significant penalty from the NFL. They don't really care. The Texans settled with all 30 women, and I haven't heard not one damn thing coming down as far as a fine and or penalty for the Texans. So how can the Texans go in and settle, and the NFL can make a decision on these guys and take draft picks and or fine them a huge amount? Could take away some of their revenue sharing, I would assume, if they wanted to. And you ain't doing nothing with the team that supposedly enabled them, but you're going to do something with this guy. So DeShaun Watson sues. Good for him. I can understand, because he shouldn't have to be the fall guy just because the NFL doesn't have the courage to say, look, it looks bad and everything, but nothing happened. Nothing happened to the point that we can suspend this guy more than 2 games or something of that nature. Yep. And I said a mouthful. Yep. I apologize.
No, nothing to apologize for. You are the sports messiah. You remember? And you said it earlier. And the thing is that you must be, because again, I can sit here and echo everything that you said, but it pretty much sums it all up. The only thing I'll throw in there before we get into our our NFC North preview for our last quarter of the show is that this, it all falls back on money. You touched on it earlier about the fine and, how much his contract will pay him if he plays or don't play, So I think what he's trying to do is make sure that he plays the right amount of games so he can make the right amount of dollars on his contract. I think that's what this all comes down to. And great point about Houston Texans. You don't ever hear nothing coming from that side of things.
Nope, not a damn word.
Yeah, and they settled too, and so I can see where DeShaun's like, "Hey, I'm selling, so you're selling, I'm selling. Let's keep this thing rolling, and I want to make my money. Plus, he's got bills to pay right now."
For me, I just want to go and look. I'm not trying to take anybody's side, but you and I are from a region from the country, and we grew up. And we heard stories growing up that when people accuse men that look like us of certain things, those men ended up being hung from a tree. Now, this isn't anywhere near as serious as that is, but kind of all I'm saying for all parties is if they're going to hang DeShaun Watson out to dry, I hope we get to see what the NFL found, that they say, for these reasons, we feel this should happen. And look, if he did it, I am being so serious. If he did anything that was inappropriate, that was sexual assault and or anything, he deserves to pay, and he would deserve to have criminal charges. But for me, you got to help me understand why none of those grand juries thought that anything needed to go to criminal charges. And then you'd have to tell me, well, what does the NFL have? And that's really all I'm going off of. The facts. What was that? Dragnet? Just the facts, please.
Oh my goodness. Dragnet. All right. Everybody pull that up on YouTube. All right. Well, also while you're out there on the internet, pull up www.ptwithgrit.com.
Yes,
Keith Morgan,
sir.
you want to look like me and Zach, you know, you want to get to our
Amen.
level, check him out because Keith Morgan will tailor your the plan will be tailored to you specifically, and he'll get you where you need to be. He'll help you reach your goals. He also has meal. He'll help you with your meal plan. He'll work you out. Also, has virtual options too. So there's really no getting away from Keith once you sign up. All you have to do is follow his plan, and he'll get you where you need to be. That is www.ptwithgrit.com. I'll say that one more time. www.ptwithgrit.com. All right, Keith Morgan, we definitely appreciate your support of the Sports Brothers.
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. Another gentleman that supports the Sports Brothers, Ebus Jr., Boxing Academy. Check out Ebus Jr. He's located at 3555 Mercer University Drive, Suite 104-1, Macon, Georgia. Zip is 31204. He has two numbers, Zach. Kevin Gates has two phones. Have you ever heard that song? But Ebus Jr. has two numbers. 478-254-5442, 478-319-1502. Check out Ebus Jr. Boxing Academy. Get your boxing on. All right. All right, Zach.
Some things never change.
Yes, sir. It's now time to discuss the NFC North, the Northern Division. We're going to talk about in this division, it consists of the Chicago Bears, the Detroit Lions, Green Bay Packers, and I'm leaving one out. Minnesota Vikings. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
that's your NFC North. Let's talk about this division, Zach. It's a division that is usually top heavy. So that's one way to set up this conversation. And
Correct.
we're gonna dig into it just a little bit and talk about this division here. So the NFC North, the first thing we're gonna jump on about this division is who is the best player in this division. What you say, Zach?
Well, stop it. Like if the dude that I believe is the only $50 million a year player in the NFL and is the reigning MVP, and I believe has run it 2 years in a row, has 4 of them total, is not only the best player in that division, but the best player in the NBA. I'm sorry, I was about to say NBA, in the NFL. Look, making 50 million and doing what he's doing, he could be in the mix for best player in the NBA. But that's Aaron Rodgers. It like that shouldn't be a question. And there's his coach right there. And just to really jump into that part, that's the best coach combination in that division. Matt LaFleur has won 13 games all 3 seasons as his head coach. The Packers have been the 1 seed the past 2 seasons. So I think even with their losses that they've had, based on the competition in the division, I have them clearly being, as you were talking about tiers, they are clearly ahead of the other 3 teams in that division.
Yeah, absolutely. And I have no choice but to agree, Zach, that Aaron Rodgers is the best player in this division. That may be the most obvious statement that I've made today, but Aaron Rodgers is the best player in this division. He's in year 18, by the way, so that
Is he
mirrors
for
another.
real?
Yeah, yeah.
Lord
In year
Jesus.
18. So
Hey,
that
I'm
tells you a lot
old.
of. Well, not only that, Zach, but it tells you a lot about the division. That year 18, there's the best player in that division. But we'll talk about some other teams that may have a player that could mirror that maybe down the line, but we'll see. But right now in that division, the best player is Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely. Best team, Green Bay. Like,
yep,
we are pretty good. I was prepping for this show and didn't get to catch the other show. I'm not sure if y'all did the sports lines or whatever, but I believe Vegas has Green Bay at a over under at 11 and a half wins.
Oh wow, nice.
I believe that's what it is.
Yeah, and by the way, Green Bay has won 13 games 3 years in a row, so
Correct.
they're definitely on pace to eclipse the 11 one. But we do have one thing that we need to talk about with Green Bay, and that would be the NFL, the schedule. There's a stretch here of 6 games. Uh, we can quickly go through that, but you see it's Dallas, Tennessee, Philly. Um, well, we'll skip the Bears. The Rams and the Dolphins. So this is an interesting stretch here. And with all jokes aside, with Chicago, that is a old rivalry, but we expect Green Bay to take that one. But what do you think about this 6 game stretch here? Do you think Green Bay will blitz through that, or will it be tough for them?
Uh, as I just said, I have them winning 12 games, and unless he suffers an injury, Aaron Rodgers, based on that thing you showed up there, and look, unless he's going up against Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, or maybe the young man in Buffalo, Allen.
Yeah.
And even if he goes up against them, he's probably clearly the best quarterback that's going to be on the field, especially in the regular season. Regular season, Aaron Rodgers is going to be the best. So from that stretch up there, they'll be fine. Like they've lost Devontae Adams. They're going to replace some other receivers, but I kind of sort of think this will be good for him because now he's going to be forced to spread the ball around. I believe we talked about it. He missed a guy. Look, and it just is what it is. He missed a guy in the San Francisco game that was running wide ass open because he was locked on Devontae Adams because he didn't trust the other players. And that's good to a degree because he's Aaron Rodgers, so you get that. But at the same time, sometimes you just have to run the play. And if a guy is paid to catch the damn ball, he's just got to catch the damn ball. And you got to throw it to him, and he's got to do his job. And if he can't do his job, you get somebody else in there. So, I looking at that stretch that you showed me and trying to go off of that, I'll go 4-2, just a quick glance of what I remember. And like, I don't expect Green Bay to be the 85 Bears, but 12 wins. They're going to be a solid team.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, they'll be solid. And as we talked about a few minutes earlier, there's the haves and have-nots in this division. I'm going to quickly talk about the have-nots, and then I'll let you have at it because I want to save a little bit of meat on the bone for the Vikings. But the Bears, right? Justin Fields. I just want to see how Justin Fields develops in year 2. The quarterback for that. Well, he played at University of Georgia for a season or part of it, and then he finished out up there. Then finished up at Ohio State. Right, as Terrence Straughter likes to say, the Ohio State University. But yeah, he finished up there. I like to see how they develop there, and then I'm gonna take a look at St. Brown and see what he does in Detroit. And then, of course, there's Houston, who was drafted, the linebacker from Jackson State. And then, obviously, University of Georgia. I'll let you talk about who they drafted there. But, another good defensive player that's up there. And so with those 2 teams there, I don't see them in the mix. I definitely see maybe a handful of, 2 to 3 games improvement from both teams. But I'll let you talk on those 2.
Well, I was gonna go once again. You and I being of like mind, I'm like you. These would be the have-nots, and I'm probably concerned about how does Justin Fields look this year because he doesn't have a lot of weapons around him to, I guess, help get him over the hump. So this is really going to come down to his development. I thought he should have sat last year. I am big on guys, unless they're going to be like Peyton Manning, sit the quarterback because you should have the kid for, you just said Aaron Rodgers is heading into his 18th season. If these guys are what you think they are, they're going to be around for 12, 15 years easily. Give them a red shirt year. so they can absorb the offense and get better. So don't expect much from the Bears, but if they can just get Fields to take some step forward and show that he can be a franchise quarterback, that will be great for them. As far as Detroit, I think Detroit's over under for wins was 7.5, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think it was that, which it might shock some people, but they lost a lot of games in the last few minutes. One, to the Baltimore Ravens, I want to say, when Tucker kicked like a 62 or 63-yard field goal. You should be losing games like that. Like, that is a tough way to go. So they might be able to get to 9 wins, possibly. We will see if they can change some of those close losses into close victories.
Yes, sir. All right. Well, with the Vikings, I think the Vikings are going to be the biggest threat for me to the Green Bay. But this is the same story over and over again. And so what the thing that I think is going to hold them back is Kirk Cousins. I think he's the one that's going to, hold them back. He's solid, but just not enough, I think, to eclipse the Packers. And there was a rift in Minnesota last season, the period that the Mike Zimmer and Kirk Cousins didn't get along. The former linebacker Ben Lieber mentioned that. It's cool how they come out after the fact and bring stuff up, but
always.
But they wasn't getting along there. And now I will say this: the Vikings, they should upgrade their offense. Receivers is going to look good with Jefferson and Thielen. Cook is back. And he when he's healthy, he's a load to deal with. So they definitely have the roster to win the division. The question is, will they win that division? And I'll give you your comments on the Vikings before we go to the Vegas odds.
I'm not going to do it. As I said, I think they're around a 9-win team that Vegas has for them. And look, Kirk Cousins is Kirk Cousins. And what's that Maya Angelou saying? When people show you who they are, believe them. He's shown us who he is. I kind of think after this season, and I can't believe I'm saying this, that maybe Minnesota might want to look at Baker Mayfield, because I want something different in Kirk Cousins. You hit it. Cook's a top 10 running back, if not and he's probably top 5 running back. Thielen and Jefferson, they got to be top 15 receivers, both of them or whatever. They have offensive weapons, and yet it seems this team continuously underperforms. Their best performance, and I can't remember the quarterback now, but when they went to Philadelphia, played against the Eagles, and they had the other young man that was at quarterback that isn't as talented as Kirk Cousins, and Kirk Cousins has only been able to get them to the second round once. So I'm sorry, the divisional playoffs once. So I'm not buying it. I'm going to go no faith in Kirk Cousins. They'll be around the 8-9 win mark, and they should be a threat. You are correct, but they just won't be.
All right. And your prediction, who wins the division?
Oh, Green Bay.
I have the Packers.
Matt LaFleur and Aaron Rodgers, they're head and shoulder. Like, I can't even tell you the Vikings' new head coach. But like, if Kirk Cousins had an out-of-body experience, he's got the most talent, I think, offensively. But it's just, you can't trust him. He's like Kyrie Irving, he's on the other side. He shows up and he does all the right stuff, but you just can't count on his ass.
Hey, and he's unvaccinated as well. All right, so we're down to the last minute of the show, Zach. Yeah. Great show. Yes, all right, man. So there's our predictions. That's our predictions, Zach. I haven't seen you laugh this much in a long time, man. You must go ahead and catch that flight, man. You're super excited about what's coming up for you. And ladies and gentlemen, we thank you all for watching. He's Zach. I'm Mr. 411. We are the Sportz Brothers, and we'll see you on the other side. Have a good one.
Have a good one.